welcome back, good people. This is Darrell with Personal Credit Solutions, where we provide credit education for beginners and advanced credit consumers. Again, the purpose of our YouTube videos is to provide credit education to our clients and to help you guys better understand the credit repair process. Always remember that bad credit is temporary, and anyone can have good credit in good time. So hang in there, be patient, and you can turn this thing around. Now, most of us have had bad credit for years. So giving it 6 months or maybe a little more than 6 months should not be too much for you guys to hang in there with, right? So let's hang in there and keep it going. All right, part 3 in our series today, we're going to really be dealing with the federal laws and just some tips on what is out there on the federal laws that we have. So let's start here. You have a right by federal law to do some things here, right? Let's talk about what those are. One is to get your credit reports, all right? You have a right to get those through annualcreditreports.com. We have a video that tells you, walks you through the process. It's not the easiest process. So I would recommend doing that every year, but I would also recommend using some of the other services, right? The Credit Karmas, freecreditreport.com, maybe even pay for a service like Identity IQ or something like that. All right. The federal law says you have a right to improve your credit reports. This is your right. So why not? Why sit there and wait on your credit to be repaired? Excuse me. Why sit there and not repair your credit and wait for things to come off your credit? The 7-year rule is ridiculous. Who can wait 7 years to obtain good credit? It's very difficult. You have a right to raise your scores. You have the power to raise your scores. You can do that with positive pay histories and other things. Keep the inquiries low, guys. The inquiry should be no more than 5 every 2 years. I know that seems impossible, but it's not. Now, that's mainly for revolving credit. You shouldn't have more than 3 to 5 inquiries per year. That will really keep you in a good place. But creditors honestly don't want you to have 8 to 10 inquiries on your credit. And since inquiries last for 2 years, you definitely don't want to overdo it with the inquiries, right? You have a right to stop collection calls, as we see here. We talked about that in the second part of this video series. You have a right to stop these guys from calling you. Some of you are just saying, hey, I'm going to answer the phone. You know, I'm an advocate of answering your phone. Don't hide from the collection agencies. You let them know you do not want them to call. You let them know that you know your rights according to the Fair Debt Collections Practices Act that we talked about, and you can stop those calls. Now, you have a right to protect yourself from identity theft as well. So get educated on credit identity theft. It's a fast growing crime, so you definitely want to make sure it doesn't happen to you. These are some of the laws coming up here that are credit laws. Okay, we have the Fair Credit Reporting Act. We just did a video on the Fair Debt Collections Practices Act, Part 2. There's also a law called the Fair Credit Billing Act, the Fair and Accurate Transactions Act, and the Equal Credit Opportunity Act. There are 5 laws here. I really don't want to get into each one because I don't want to make the video longer, but maybe we can do a short video on each law and describe it in more detail. Some of these you'll not enact, but some of these you could use to help yourself, right? And help improve your situation and your credit. All right. Let's talk about identity theft. It's one of the fastest growing crimes in America. They say here Arizona is number 1. So definitely be careful out there, right? You can protect yourself from identity theft, though. There's a lot of federal laws that help you protect yourself. I have one client right now that I'm just going to give you the scenario. I can get a negative off the credit because it's identity theft. But what they require is a police report. Walk into the police station, tell them you need to do a police report on a particular item that's on your credit, give them the name, they'll help you fill out the document, and you're out of there. Now, I know some people are leery about going to the police station. Some people can't. They have, something going on. I understand that. But if you don't do that, you're hurting yourself because you can You can get these things off legally. The federal law protects you there. She doesn't want to go to the courthouse, excuse me, to the police station and do the report. So the item is going to stay there. I don't know why we would let something like that stay there. So I'm still encouraging her to go and do it. So hopefully she will. You can protect yourself though by doing some of these tips that we're going to talk about here. One of them is to not give your social out freely. All right, just be careful about that. Shred any personal and confidential information. All right, people go in your trash, right? So you definitely want to make sure you don't give them that opportunity. Do not carry your social security number or card in your purse or wallet. And I used to do this for years. And once I got more educated, I stopped doing it because I realized this is a really, really good way to commit fraud against you if somebody gets that card. And I don't think I'm the only one who's lost my wallet or lost an important document in life, right? We've all done that. I think I've done that twice. So make sure you don't carry your social security number or card in your purse or wallet. Keeping your wallet or purse with you at all times. My wife was telling me about a friend of hers co-worker actually, left her purse in the car for just a second. Somebody broke in and took the purse. It also happened to a relative. So definitely keep those things with you at all times. Don't leave them in the car. Your car can get stolen. That's what happened to the relative. Their car was stolen with their purse in it. If someone is calling you for information, then they should have your info. Do not give them anything unless you make the call or unless you verify the information. Okay, you can ask them questions. What are the last four of my social? What is my address? You have a right to do that. Make them prove to you they know who you are. Make them prove to you they're a legitimate company. Do not just give your information out. Look at the credit reports every 6 months or at least once per year. Now, I would expect my clients to be wanting to look at their credit reports 2 to 3 times a month, 1 to 2 times a month. That's what I usually hear you guys are doing. Technically, you only need to do that once a month. Your credit is only going to be refreshed once a month. So going back and forth like Credit Karma tries to get you guys to do every day, every 2 days, my score went up, down 10 points or 5 points or 3 points. They're designed to get you on their site. That's their goal. You do not need to look at your credit score that often, once a month. Okay, I can say it over and over again, and sometimes people don't care to listen to that. But once a month is all you need to check on your credit. All right, let's talk about saving money here. Just some tips. This is a very good idea. Also, a great way to get out of debt. Also, a great way to keep your utilization down. Great way to set up a solution to maybe settling on a collection or charge-off and getting it cleared, getting it taken care of on your credit. Put at least 5 to 10% of your pay away in a savings account. It's a great idea. Do a monthly budget and try to stick with it. Everyone should have a budget, including me. I should have a business budget. I should have a personal budget. Have a budget. What is a budget? It's nothing more than you knowing exactly what you have to pay every single month. What is due? Put that down on paper. You can work around that. You can plan around that. It's a very good idea. Now, this is what good credit, people with good credit, this is what they do. Another thing I always tell people, excellent credit scores and good credit comes with certain habits. One of them is keeping your cards paid in full every month. Why use your cards and run them up every month? It's not necessary. It's a bad idea. Besides paying your bills on time, your credit utilization or the balances on your credit cards or revolving accounts is the number 2 most important thing to your credit score. So if you really want to protect your credit score, don't use your cards unless you need them. If you have multiple cards, only use one. Keep the other cards open. You're really helping your utilization a tremendous amount. Keep the cards under 20-25%. Ask yourself, do I really need this? Or do I just want it? Now, we have to put our big boy pants on, right? Our big girl pants on. And we have to be mature about the way we use our money. It's what got us in trouble in most cases. Listen, I've been here before in my younger years. I'm 55 now. So, when I was in my 20s, I ruined my credit. I ruined it once out of college and once after divorce in my 20s. And since then, I've been able to keep it in order. But the first time I ruined my credit is because we became overextended. Bought a new house, had furniture, bought 2 new cars, had some credit cards, had some loans. I literally paid my way out of that. But I had some problems for a while until I paid those cards down, those accounts off. But you do not need everything that you see. Everything in this country is pushing you to buy, buy, buy. You have to have some discipline, guys. Buy cheaply. You don't have to have the best of everything, right? We see that all the time. Everybody wants to wear name brand this and name brand that. I'm not telling you guys what to do and what not to do, but we're trying to come up with solutions, right, to keep our credit in good shape. So that's a good idea. Make a list of what you spend per month. Besides your budgeting that you do, you most certainly are going to have surprises. Who doesn't have surprises every month? So keep track of what your budget is monthly and also any unexpected expenses. Make a list of what you spend every month. You will be shocked on how much you really do spend and where you can save money. It'll give you some good ideas. We are open for questions, and many answers are now on our YouTube site. All you have to do is search Personal Credit Solutions of NC LLC or just Personal Credit Solutions, and you'll find our site and these videos. Anyone who's a client is getting information about this on a regular basis anyway. So we'll be available anytime for answering confidential questions, getting your credit reports and scores, helping you stop collection calls and unfair practices. That says packets, so that is not correct. But we'll move on anyway. And thank you for watching and learning today, and we'll get to part 4 shortly.